Okay, so good morning. So today we're going to discuss about the module number 10 with the title Approaches to Community Actions or Action Across Disciplines. Okay? So this topic covers three lessons which are about the community organization. So in here, we're going to discuss about the process on how to organize a community. And then, for lesson number 2 naman is we're going to discuss about the partnership buildings. And for lesson number 3 is we will discuss about the development of community leaders. So, as a first start in our lesson, this main topic approaches to community action across the discipline. Its main objective is to explain the process and methodologies when it comes on the approaches of the community action. It also enhance the development of commitment, okay, of every participatory development for community and well-being. Okay? So, let us proceed now with community organization, our lesson number 1. Okay? As you can see here in the illustration, the uh, it shows the picture on how a group of people organize a community. Okay? It shows an illustration on how a group of people forms or organize, okay, a community. So, when we say community organizing, it is a form and process of building a group of people who have a common vision and goal and engage in community action. It is a process of organizing, consolidating, developing, and sustaining the process of the people, particularly to those with less voice, less resources, and less opportunities. So there are different steps or 7 different steps when it comes on community organizing. Okay? So before we discuss those steps, when we say community organizers, these are individuals that may employ different strategies in organizing a community. Okay? But there are basic steps that they usually adhere to according to Manalili in 1985 that is cited by Quintin in 1988. So here are the different community organizing steps. Number 1 is the entry in the community. According to step number 1, entry to a particular community means you have done the necessary preparation like gathering basic information about the political, economic culture in the area. Also, there are psychological and perspective setting such that you are not there to save them, that you are not superior to them, and that you need to dress with them accordingly. Then for step number 2 is integration with the people. The most difficult stage in integration part of the process because there is a possibility that the people will ignore you. Live with them, okay? Or you have to live with them, eat what they eat, and drink what they drink. Okay? You have to learn to do things their way and get to know the people. For step number 3 is you have to, or its title is community studies or situation analysis. It is because you have to base on the data or the gathered information, okay, about the community. You have to enhance the analysis based on a new data or information. For step number 4 is identifying and developing potential community leaders. While integrating and discussing social issues with the people, the community organizing consciously observe and spots potential community leaders and those with deep concern for the people and a good grasp of community problems. Then number 5 is the core group formation. So when we say core group formation, the community organizing form a core group comprising of potential leaders. The community organizing will have a regular discussions and training with the group. Then for number 6 is setting up the organization. So once the organization is set up, structures will be formed and organizational leaders will be elected and necessary policies will be established. And then the last one step is strengthening the organization. So in strengthening the organization, you have to ensure the sustainability of the organization. There will be a continuous human resource development, policy refinement, and development of organizational programs that will help strengthen the organization. So, there are also 3 models of community organization. Yung number 1 model of community organization is from Jack Rothman's 3 model of community organization. These are community development, social action, and number 3 is social planning. Okay? So, it also covers Saul's Alinsky confrontation model. Okay? So, according to Saul Alinsky's conflict confrontation model, this approach then became the most popular social change approach because there was a brutal and ruthless political tyranny during their time. Okay? And this approach allowed the masses to discuss the social structural issues. While the Paulos Prior's conscientization model naman is a process of developing the people's critical awareness of their situation. Okay? So, this Paulo Frere's conscientization model covers the following. Number 1, education is neutral or unpolitical. Kasi according to that is an individual should develop their critical concerns about their situation. So cover nito yung education, no? An education should be neutral or unpolitical. Kasi during the time of Paulo Freire, no? Only the man, okay, can go to school. So kumbaga naging naging alipin, ika nga, no, ng maling sitwasyon. So from then, he promote his model wherein an individual should know to analyze his or her situation. Okay? So from number 1, education is neutral or unpolitical. Diba? It domesticates so many situations by imposing the value and culture of the dominant class or liberties of the people. This helps the people become critical, free, active, and responsible members of the society. Then, number 2 is issues must have importance to the people. Because the people will act on issues that are important to them. And all education and development projects should start by identifying the issues that the local people feel strongly about. Next, number 3 is the problem posing approach. So in a problem posing approach, the whole education and development process is viewed as a common search for solution to the problems. And then number 4 is dialogue or communication. The community organizers serve as a facilitator or animators whose role is to set up a situation in which the genuine dialogue can take place. Okay? Where people can share experience, listen, and learn from each other. For number 5, the reflection and action. When we say reflection and action, a community organizer or animator can provide the situation in which the people critically reflect upon what they are doing. And for number 6, a radical transformation of life in the local community, no? And whole society. So this covers a dynamic process in which education and development are totally interwoven. It organizes each person which has a capacity or contribution to make in building a new society, and tries to help each person and each community become more capable and committed to the service of the people and national transformation. Okay, so let us now proceed with our lesson number 2, which is about the partnership building. Ayan. As you can see here in the illustration, it shows a puzzle. Okay? Building a puzzle or anong tawag dito? Pagbubuo ng puzzle. It is or partnership building or having a partnership with an individual or with other organization is like imposing or parang kagaya ng pagbubuo ng isang puzzle. Okay? So, when we say partnership, it is a vibrant relationship among diverse players. It is a grounded on mutually agreed goals and carried out through a shared understanding of the most rational division of work based on the respective comparative strength of each partner. And it covers also the reciprocal influence. When we say reciprocal, there is a mutual or when we say bringing back what is given. No? And it covers reciprocal influence with a careful balance between synergy, when we say synergy, working together, and respective autonomy. Okay? So, as a member of a community and larger society, we live in an association with others. We cannot do things alone and we need others to get things done. Okay? These are individuals, groups, organizations, or even sectors. So the reality of the limitations of resources like human, technical, financial, physical, more especially at the local communities, make people to partner with others who can supply what is lacking into them. So what are the different principles of partnership? Siyempre, number 1 is trust or tiwala. Okay? In order for you to gain a partnership is you need to also gain the trust, okay, of whom you wanted to partner with. So it requires trust between among partners to enter into an agreement and relationship. No good relationship is built on an atmosphere of distrust, and it is the most vital ingredients when it comes on forging partnership. Next, number 2 is mutuality. Okay? When we say mutuality, this principle entails reciprocity, rather, respect and dialogue. Partnership require reciprocal relations where there is a mutual understanding on various aspects of relationship, and it also demands openness to dialogue and exchange of different perspective. And then for number 3 principle is solidarity. When we say solidarity, this principle promotes compassion for the marginalized or disadvantaged and of course the poor. It infers the promptness of act or to act, and it takes all partners to respect the commitment and to have an equal take on situations at hand. Yun yung tinatawag nating solidarity. Then number 4 is the accountability. When we say accountability, it is a principle that is about the right and obligations. It always starts at the partnership. This must be clearly mapped out and agreed upon by both partners. Hindi po pwedeng isa lang yung gagalaw. Hindi po pwedeng isa lang ang kikilos. Diba? There should be an accountability. And a partnership or both parties should take own, no, yung organization na binuo nila, no, in order for it to become successful. So here are the different steps in partnership building. Okay? Ito daw yung different steps when it comes on partnership building. Number 1 is scoping and building. Okay? This is scoping and building covers the following, which are scoping, identifying, building, and planning. When we say scoping, it means that understanding the challenge, gathering information, consulting with stakeholders, and of course to potential external resource providers. Pag sinabi naman nating identifying potential partners and securing their involvement, motivating them and encouraging them to work together. Then, building refers to building a partner in working relationship through agreeing about the goals, objectives, core principles, and that will underpin their partnership. And then the last one that is covered by step 1 is planning. When we say planning, the partners should know how to make a plan or should have a planning of their activities. They should know how to do an outlining of their project rather. Okay? So, yun yung cover ng step number 1 natin. Again, these are scoping, identifying, building, and planning. For step number 2, managing and maintaining. Okay? Step number 2, managing and maintaining, covers managing, resourcing, and implementing. When we say managing, the partners explores the structure and management of their partners. When resourcing, the partners identify and mobilize cash and non-cash resources. And for implementing naman, this covers the time to implement the pre-agreed timetable and project details and deliberatives. Okay? Step number 3, reviewing and revising. This covers measuring performance, reviewing, and revising. For step number 4, this covers the sustaining outcomes, which covers the institutionalizing and sustaining sustaining or terminating. Okay? So, alamin natin what are the different roles and function of partnership. Sabi kasi dito, partnership is necessary in order to achieve a common goal, no? Because the goal are to teach the partnership when it comes on their objectives, it should be effective and efficient. Okay? So partnership should contribute to the attainment of community development or advocacy agenda. If one of the partners that does not fulfill its commitment to that advocacy, the partnership contributes negative, no, to the advancement of organizational or community goals. Okay? So dito naman tayo sa lesson number 3. Lesson number 3 title is the development of community leaders. So, as you can see here in an illustration, it shows that there is someone who takes a lead, okay, from the people. No? So, pag sinabi natin community leaders, these are a permanent or regular or the one that is permanent or a regular resident of particular community who take responsibility for the well-being and improvement of community. Okay? This was identified by Community Toolbox in 2015. Okay? So, there are individuals who are born community leaders but without social orientation. It is the responsibility of community organizers to spot them, train them, and develop these leaders. So here are the different steps in order to develop a community leaders. Number 1 is spotting a potential community leader. Okay? So the first step is to observe consciously and spot potential community leaders. The process of spotting requires close contact and monitoring of people, and build good relationship with the people, and deepen the relationship by going beyond personal. Next, number 2 is awareness building and conscientization process of potential leaders. This step is formation of social awareness and critical leaders. Okay? Establish information or informal leadership activities such as exposure to activities of community leaders, regular discussion and analysis of social issues with them, and coaching and mentorship on certain community activities. For number 3 steps naman is core group formation and development. So this core group formation and development, this is the step when the core group of leader is formally created. No? When an community organizer spotted leaders, he or she can create or form a core group, no, that could lead a community. Next one naman is the formation of organization. This step is the setting up to the community organization where structures are created. It is where the policies are formulated and the leaders are formally recognized. Like the barangay captain, diba? The mayor, diba? In a community, diba? Next, number 5 is functioning leaders. So, pag sinabi nating functioning leaders, the next step is a full development or deployment of the community leaders is to provide more active presence in the community. Next, number 6 is leadership advancement and successor leadership program. Sometimes this could pertains to team building na tinatawag. Okay? So the community needs relevant, globally savvy, technologically adept, and people-oriented leaders. So the other equally important program is the successor and generation leadership development. Okay? So community leaders and community actions. Community leaders must be indigenous or members of the community. Community leaders are performing a key role in the development and success of community, and they represent the sentiments and concerns of the community. They are the voice of their community, and they serve as a community facilitator and sometimes even conflict with managers. To be effective in their role, these leaders should know how to listen to the people, and they must be aware and sensitive when it comes on the different conditions of different sectors in their community, and they must be committed in order to grow or in order for the growth of the people and development in a community. So the community needs leaders who can be trusted and responsible. Okay? So that would be our topic for the lesson in module number 10 with the title Approaches to Community and Action Across Discipline.